guys, my name is Grace and I have with me Resa, and today we're going to show you how to teach your dog how to roll up in a blanket. So in order for you to teach your dog this trick, there's two different ways you can do it. You can, one, have already taught your dog how to hold an object in their mouth, and then you can use that and teach them to hold the blanket and then add in the rolling over while they're still holding the blanket. The other way, which I'm going to do because I have not taught Resa to hold an object yet, I'm going to basically almost get her to want to tug with the blanket still in the lying down position, so that she will pick up the blanket, and then when she's holding her mouth and I'm rewarding her for grabbing it in her mouth, then I'll introduce the rolling over. So, since Resa already kind of knows how to hold a blanket a little bit, this won't be too hard for her to start the first step, but for your dog it might take a little bit longer. Alright, so let's get started. Ready? Okay. We gotta light up, Bo. Light up. Good. Get it? So basically what I'm doing, I'm encouraging her to get it. Ready? Get it. Good. And then rewarding her when she grabs it. Get it. Good. Get it. Good. Get it. Good. Alright, so now, once your dog is picking it up, get it. Good. Then what you're going to do is you're going to start to get them to lie down on their side while still holding the blanket. Alright, so now once your dog has done that, and you've gotten them back to holding it, then I'm going to start working on the sides. Get it? Hold. Good. Side. Good. Yes. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. So for this, up here. Good. So, you might have taught your dog to go onto their belly, or to lie onto their side, and then maybe you taught them bang to go on completely on their back, and then roll over. Doesn't matter if you've taught any of these things, but basically what you're going to do is you're going to teach your dog, depending on what dog you have and how well the holding is going, you might tell your dog to roll over, and then when they even go on their side, then you reward them. Or you may create a new command like roll up or blanket or something else. Or what I'm going to do with Resa, I'm going to teach her to hold it, and then I'm going to teach her, oh, good girl, hold it, and then roll over. And then once she understands that, I will start to introduce the command, probably roll up is what I'll use. But first, once you want your dog to get on the side, almost teach it like you're teaching roll over, but instead of using a finger lure, you will maybe just tap their side. Good. So see how Resa kind of rolls onto her side. Good girl when I just tap it. If your dog doesn't do that, that's okay. That's no problem. Maybe you need to go and teach them that before you teach this trick. And that's just something you teach them to lay on their side with a command, and then you just teach them. Then once you've used a verbal command, you then just introduce the hand cue of just tapping their side. Good. Good. Hold. Good. Side. Side. Good. Yes. Good girl. Good girl. There you go. Hold. Good. Almost. Almost. That's okay. Good girl. So your dog may struggle with grabbing the blanket and going onto their side at the same time. They may grab the blanket, and then when you tell them to go onto their side, or my cue is belly, or when you tell them to go on their belly, they might drop the blanket and go onto the belly. That's okay. You can reward them at the start for doing that, because then they're listening to your cues. But then you need to start to have them hold the blanket, and then when they hold it halfway going into the belly, then you reward that. And then you reward when they take the blanket with them in the belly by holding it in their mouth the entire time. Hold. Good. Hold. Hold. Belly. Good. Good girl. Good girl. Hold. Good. Hold. Hold. Side. Yes, good girl. Good girl. grabbed the blanket and then she rolled over even more than just her side. Good girl. So I'm going to jackpot reward. Good girl. Good girl. All right, ready? Up. Good. Ready? Now hold. Good. Yes, good girl. Good girl. So there I didn't even say anything. I just told her to hold, and then she was like, oh, you want me to roll over on my side. That's what we've been working on. Good girl. Good girl. Right. Good. Ready, hold. Yes, good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Just to let you guys know, I had been starting to teach Resa this trick a little bit ago, like a couple months ago, but then I was working on my AKC Elite Performer title and I took a step away from learning this trick. So that's why Resa is catching on so fast, is because this is about where I got to the point of teaching her this trick. So that is why seems like she's learning this part really, really fast. Alright, so up. Good. Ready? Okay, hold. Yes! Good girl! Good girl! Good girl! Good girl! Alright, so now what I'm going to start to do, good girl, is I'm going to now, when I tell her hold, good girl, I'm going to then say roll over, and then now I'm only going to reward when she flips over onto her other side. Now the one thing is, as long as your dog holds the blanket until they flip over onto their other side, even if they let it go once they have flipped over, the blanket will still be wrapped around them. So don't worry if your dog lets it go once they've gotten to that point right there. Good, because the blanket most likely will still stay on them, that when they roll over all the way, they'll still be wrapped around, a blanket will be wrapped around them. So don't worry about that exactly. Now if you want to master that with your dog, that it holds it the entire way, go for it. That's great, that's awesome. But for this video and for what I'm doing with Resa, I'm just going to teach you to hold it to a point that it wraps around her. Alright, hold, hold. Now, hold, roll over, roll over. Good, done. Good girl. So you saw, good girl, that she dropped the blanket most of the way, but look, she's still wrapped up, so that's what I'm going for. Good girl. Just as a note, sometimes when the dog rolls over and the blanket's on them, that might scare them a little bit. That's okay, just reward them. And if possible, try to get the blanket off of them as fast as possible as you're rewarding them, just so that they realize, oh, this is a good thing, this is fun, I get more treats out of it. And then once your dog is rolling up, then we'll work on getting them to stay, as soon as they roll up, to stay in the lying down position. Are you ready? Hold, hold, roll over, roll over. Okay, that's okay, good girl, good girl. So I'm still gonna reward that because she tried, good girl. But as you saw, because she didn't roll over all the way and she didn't hold it until she had flipped onto the other side, the blanket didn't go with her when she rolled over. Good. Hold. Good. Roll over. Yes, good girl. Yes, good girl. There you go. So that time when she held it for longer after she'd flipped over, the blanket stayed with her. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Yes, good girl. Good girl. And then I'm going to keep her in the down, and then I'm going to just take the blanket off of her before I release her, just so that it doesn't scare her when she gets up. So, one thing, once your dog is rolling over with the blanket, when you want them to not jump up. Now, some dogs won't jump up, other dogs will just get up immediately, like, oh, this is exciting, I get a treat now. When you do that, keep the treat kind of close to their face, so as soon as they roll over, you can put that treat in front of their nose so that they stay in the lying down position. Other ones, let's say you have a dog that is very verbal cue, they respond very well to verbal cues, you can tell them roll over, and once they roll over and get to the point when they're almost in the lying down position, you say lie down, and then that's a way that your dog will stay in the lie down. Good girl. Don't worry about getting them to lie down until your dog is fine with the blanket being wrapped around them. Because if your dog is a little nervous about the blanket, then they're not going to lie down as easily, and then it'll be harder for them to understand what you're asking for when this blanket that they don't know exactly why it's around them, and it's freaking them out. Alright, ready, hold, roll over, all the way, roll over, good girl, good girl. So make sure whenever you're setting your dog up, make sure they're in the correct position so that they can roll over all the way and get wrapped in the blanket. Ready, hold, come here, good, roll over, good, yes, good girl, good girl, good girl, very well done, very well done, good. Hold, come here, get it, hold, good, roll over, yes, good girl, yes, good girl, good girl, good girl, yes. Alright, well, I'm going to end today because that was a perfect roll-up. All of her body parts are covered except for her tail, which is really cute when it wags, and then her head. So I'm going to end today, and then tomorrow I'll work more on the lying down. I'll introduce the roll-up cue, and then I will also, good girl, introduce a head down, which she's already doing, even though I haven't taught her how to do that yet. But I'll introduce the head down to make it a really, really cute trick. And then I'll get it to a point when all of those different tasks that you may have taught your dog separately all become one trick, and then you use one cue for all those different tasks, this is a really great trick to teach your dog to do almost multitasking but with one command. So yeah, alright, well, we'll work on it tomorrow. Good girl. Alright, so it's day 2 of working on the roll up with Resa. Alright, Resa, hold. Lie down, you gotta lie down first. Good. Hold. Come on. Yes, good. Hold. Roll over. All the way, roll over. Nope. Easy. Over here. Lie down. Good. Hold. Good. Hold. Roll over. Oops. Yes! Good girl! Good girl! Roll over. Yes! Good girl! Ready? Roll up! Good girl! Good girl! Yes! Good girl! Alright, let's try it again. Roll up! Yes! Good girl! Very good. Roll up! Yes! Good girl! Good girl! Roll up! Yes! Good girl! Roll up! Yes! Good girl! Good girl! Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start head down. Head down. Head down. I'm going to get her to put her head down. Good. Head down. Good. This is good because if you want to pretend in like a routine that your dog is falling asleep, head down. Then your dog, head down, looks more like they're asleep, tucked into bed. Okay, good girl. Good. Roll up. Yes! Good girl. Now head down. Yes! Good girl. Now head down. Yes! Good. Head down. Okay! Good girl. Alright, so now for this time and then another time, one more time, and then I'll stop this trick for today. I'm going to, instead of rewarding her and then rewarding her when she flips over all the way and then asking her for head down, I'm going to have her roll over and then I'm going to tell her head down. So she starts to realize, oh, head down is part of this trick. Ready? Roll up. Roll up. Good. Head down. Yes! Good girl. Good girl. Alright, so we will continue this tomorrow. Good girl. Hi guys. Alright, so it's another day working on rolling up in a blanket. So, what we're going to do, I'm going to see where I left off, how much you remember. Roll over. Roll over. Roll over. Good. Yes! Good girl. Good. Hold. Roll over. Now head down. What a good girl! What a good girl! Roll over. Head down. What a good girl! Alright, so it's another day. Alright, Resa. Nap time. Come on. Come on. Nap time. Down. Good. Nap time. Nap time. Yes! Good girl. Very good girl. Yes! Good girl. Yes! Good girl. Yes! Good girl. Good girl. Yes! Good girl. Come here. I'll get off you. Good girl. Good girl. Girl, you gotta take the blanket with you. Nap time. Yes! Good. Nap time. Good girl. Yes! Good. Yes! Good. Yes! Yes. Nap time. Yes! Good girl. Yeah. Yes! Good. Good girl. Good girl. Nap time. Yes! Good girl. Yes! Good girl. Nap time. Yes! Good girl. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please like, comment, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, if you have any questions about this tutorial, either comment or email me, and I will be happy to get back to you. And also, if you have any recommendations for future tutorials, be sure to put them in the comments below, and I will be happy to work on that tutorial for you. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!